Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name's Jessica, and also welcome back to me because I've also been away for a minute, but I am glad to be back and to be recording. And I have a very special video today, and this is actually dedicated to my cousin Trent. We were talking about friends, having friends, not having friends, and I've realized, especially now, that I've had good friends in my life that so often in my life, and it's so normal for me that I don't realize that not everybody has friends and or good friends, and or relationships, friends and relationships, because I guess I don't know if all your relationships you are considering those people your friends, but I'm gonna kind of be speaking about both here. But I've always had friends and relationships in my life. I've never really felt alone. So when something is your norm, to a degree, you take it for granted. And I'm in my own world, and there's other worlds going on where people don't have friends, or they don't have good friends or good relationships, people they can talk to, people they can lean on. So me and me and my cousin Trent were talking, and I wanted to teach him how I manifest friends and relationships because it's always worked for me. I've always had it in my life. To a degree, it really started out that way. Although Trent, you're in a pretty similar position to me in terms of having quite a few siblings, but I'm the oldest of, I have three siblings, there's four of us all together. I'm the oldest, we're all about a year apart. So in my homes, like from being young, have had those relationships, those bonds, those friendships. Because even though they were my siblings, I would say they were like my best little friends, right? And then you go to school, you build and develop relationships there. When we grow we're an adult now, and we may still be in school, be developing and connecting with friends still at school, or we're going to be connecting through work, or just, through social events, maybe at bars, maybe at outings, concerts, wherever we connect with people, right? But these relationships are in fact important, and you can be very intentional about it. And the reason I wanted to make this video, and the video is about manifesting your desired friends and relationships, is because, like I said, it's always been there for me. I've always had it, and it's been natural for me. So I've continued to call in friends and relationships. And there was one point in my life where this was just happening unconsciously. I live a pretty intentional life now, so I live a life with awareness. I am looking deeper at what's going on here. And sometimes we're doing things and we don't know what we're doing, but there is like a process, there is a thing that's happening. So in terms of manifesting or calling in or having great friends, there's something I'm doing there, and I've looked into it, and I feel like I can share this with you. And it's energetic information. This is not going to be a video on a to-do list or action taking per se. This is about the intention behind it. It's about the awareness behind it. It's about realizing through your life experiences with your relationships and your friends what you like and what you don't like, what you want to call in within a friend and what you don't want to, or relationship. It doesn't matter. It's all the same thing, to be honest. So I've realized through having, we have good and bad friends, so-called good and bad friends, right? And I myself have been a bad friend too. I'm not trying to say that I'm perfect, but we've all had our fair share of things we like and dislike. And whether we are aware of it or not, we are creating preferences for ourselves and for others when we go through things. So, if, let's say you're in a romantic relationship and a partner cheats on you and it really hurts you, you're gonna maybe develop a very strong boundary that like cheating is an absolute no. If that happens, we're over, we're done. I don't like that. I do not want a partner or lover that cheats. That's something that I do not want. So you could also say what you do want is a very maybe loving and loyal partner or lover, right? So with knowing what you don't want, you can call in what you do want. And what do I mean by calling it in, right? Well, because I said I live an intentional life with awareness, I can decide everything about my life. I'm not saying you're going to get everything perfectly that you desire, but life is either happening to you or for you, right? And if life is happening for me, which I believe it is, I can decide what I would like to have in any part of my life. It doesn't matter. We're talking about relationships and friends in this video, but let's just say you're in a friend group that you don't like. You can decide, I'm done with this. You do not need to keep it. Like, it's up to you. You might think you have to keep playing things out, but you don't. And if you're maybe in no friendships or relationships and you've decided, I want that, you can call that in. How can we call it in? With intention. You have to decide you want it. Let's just say, I don't know, say you want a bike, okay? Like, say one day you rode a friend's bike and you were like, I like that, I want a bike. You would never get that bike if you don't ask someone for the bike or ask someone, where can I get? Like, you would have to continue that intention. You would have to think about the fact that you want the bike and take action towards that. And the thinking part is going to maybe be like, what type of bike, maybe how fast it goes, maybe the color, the speeds. I don't know much about bikes and I don't know why I used that as an example, but like, you would have to think about what you want and say it somehow. You would have to get it out there to get the bike, right? So we're going to be doing the same thing here when we're talking about manifesting friends and relationships. We're going to sit down and think about if there was a so-called perfect friendship or relationship, what would that look like? What would that friend or partner or lover be like? You can do this as deeply and as specifically as you like, or as broad as you like. This is all up to you. Like, you are the boss of your life. You just may not realize it, but you are the boss. You decide everything that's happening. Everything, right? So, if I wanted to call in new friends, I'll tell you what I might call in, okay? And then I'm going to tell you what I would do, and I'll explain the manifestation process. So basically, let's just say I've realized through my life experience that it's really cool. Like, my best friend, she is like so similar to me, where we're these spiritual girlies that are just trying to grow and like develop and like live our best lives. And you know, we like to I guess vent to each other, get things off our chest, and then build each other up and say good things. Like, we're there for each other in such a positive way. Like, she's a great example of what I would like to call in more of. So because I'm enjoying that, and it's not that you can't focus on the negative when manifesting, but it's more clear if you can focus on what you want opposed to what you don't want. And this is just to be more clear, just kind of like if you're, you know, say you're ordering something through a drive-through and it's muffled and you can't really hear and you might get the wrong thing. And that's okay. Part of life is the trial and error, but it's most clear when you know with what you don't want, what you do want, right? So my best friend, she is a manifestation of all the not wants, but expressed as the wants. I love a friend that shares like spirituality and growth and development and values and life experiences and understanding and compassionate and generous and beautiful to look at. I didn't call that part in, but she's so beautiful to look at. So she has been manifested into my life because I knew from other friends that didn't work out and friends that did work out what I liked and what I didn't like. And I was able to express it the way I just did. That like, I want a friend that's connected to their spirituality, a friend that believes in a higher power and knows there's something bigger guiding us, and we can have these deeper conversations. So you write all of this down. You describe this friend, this relationship, this person, and you write about it. Why are we writing about it? The reason we're going to write about it, and you're just going to, I'll explain how to write about it, but the reason you're writing about it is because we're taking information and concepts from the mind and putting it to paper. So it is so symbolic of the manifestation process where you're bringing a thought into your life by writing it on the paper. So it's out of the mind onto the paper. And this part, I can't tell you how the magic works. And what I mean by that is, I don't know why when you write something down, you have better outcomes. Like, I'm not sure how the magic works. Like I said, I understand that you're taking that which is in the mind and putting it out here in our actual life. Because if there's things just in your head and you never speak about them or write about them, like that, then do they exist? Like, if you just keep something completely in your head, like, how would anyone ever know about it? Nobody can hear what's going on in your head, right? So putting it on the paper, it does something. That part I don't know. That to me is the magic. That to me is the universe at work. To me, it's similar to electricity. I don't know how to explain to you how electricity works. I actually have no idea, but I know how to use electricity. I know when I have a plug and I put it in the socket that's hooked up to my electrical panel, that it powers the item that I plugged in, and I now have power. It's turned on because of electricity. But I don't know, even though I can explain that process, I don't know how the electricity is actually working and powering. That's not my specialty. But I do understand that manifestation occurs when we're bringing thoughts from the mind into our world, and how they come into our world happens in many different ways. But when you write something down, the likeliness of it happening is so much greater. And part of that really just is when you focus upon something, so you've now put it on the paper, you've read it, you've looked at it, like you've interacted with this a bit, your mind is navigating you, whether you realize it or not. So if you, let's say, stub your toe and your toe hurts, you're going to focus on the pain on your foot, and that's from the mind, right? And that could even get you in a bad mood, and then your jacket gets caught on something, and and it's like, that's all happening from the mind. The mind is leading you, right? So when you put something on paper and interact with it and think about it and put focus and intention and attention with this thing that we're talking about, that we're going to bring into our lives, your mind now is going to somehow guide you towards it. That's the part I don't know how, but it works. So whenever I've called in any relationship, lover, friend, co-workers, all of them, right? It doesn't matter. They're all the same. I've always just wrote how thankful I am. Oh, this person is this way. I will describe their personality. I will describe, maybe how funny they are, how uplifting they are. I'm so thankful that they're here. I will just write about them as if they are here. I don't give them a name. I don't like to get too specific on looks. That's not really my way of manifesting, but that might be yours. If you really have a preference on a certain look, like say you're like, I really love blue eyes, or I really love curly hair, go for it, right? Like, why not? If you could have what you want, why not put it out there? Like, maybe there's a chance you don't get the curly hair. Like, maybe everything you write down is there but the curly hair, but it's like, okay, at that point, it's almost like it doesn't matter. But there's a chance you get the curly hair. Maybe you want to have a kid with the person with curly hair. It's the genes you want. Like, I don't know. But I say, even if it's physical things, put it down. I'm just letting you know I don't... I might more be descriptive, you know, like tall, broad shoulders. I might be a bit descriptive, but you can take this to as much a detail as you'd like, or be as broad as you like. It's all up to you. But the more detail you can give, the better chances of you getting what you actually want. And I always end this writing with just saying I'm so thankful to know this person. Like, thank you. Thank you to me is the signing off on that you've received this. You know, if I say anything you've said thank you for, it's because you've received something. So to me, thank you is signing the deal. Thank you. Thank you for this person. You know, I'm so blessed to have them in my life. Thank you. Just expressing gratitude for knowing this person. Because let's just say, Trent, this is for you. Like, let's just say you're wanting to call in some great friendships. You know, so say you have this friend in your life. You write down your ideal friend. If you had this friend in your life and then, you know, say you parted ways and, you know, you went home for the night, like you're going to be like, man, like I love so-and-so, like they're the best. I'm so thankful they're in my life. So you want to express that same feeling you'd have with what you're writing down, because that's how you're going to call it in. Thank you for this. You want to energetically match what you are calling in. And however you would be thankful now. And the other tip to add here to really get what you want in terms of this person you're trying to manifest, your friend, lover, whatever relationship, coworker, it doesn't matter. Like I said, it's all the same. So let's just say you want this really amazing, loyal, beautiful, you know what I'm talking about. Like, start thinking of all the things you would want from someone, right? You have to now go inward and look at yourself, because let's just say you're trying to call in this amazing, beautiful, confident person. And let's just say you are a very insecure, you're not really taking care of yourself. Let's say you don't keep your word, you lie a lot. Like, let's just say there's some things going on with you right now. The person you're calling in, if you don't match with them, you won't be able to call them in, because even if they met you, they would walk past you. You want to get on the level of what you're calling in. And to be fair, you would want this if someone was calling you in, right? Like, if somebody was wanting to manifest you in their life, but they didn't want to come to your level, whatever level that is, you wouldn't be interested either, right? So if you want to call in a loyal, loving person, you have to be a loyal, loving person. And sometimes this goes deeper than just other relationships. So like, let's say that word loyal, right? You might think, well, I am loyal in my relationship. So like, let's say you're calling in a lover or a friend that you would like to be loyal. Well, if what you think is loyal, is it really loyal? Sometimes you think loyal means sticking around through thick and thin, through no matter what, I'm here. But let's say you, even though you stick around, you resent it and you don't want to be there. Is that really loyal? Is that actually loyal? Because I would say that's not what loyalty is. Loyalty is real, right? And also, not just about loyalty with others. Are you loyal to yourself? What does that mean? Do you keep your word with yourself? Do you choose you in situations where others may not be choosing you? Are you loyal to yourself? Because if you are not loyal to yourself, but you think someone else, I know you don't think they should be, but that's what you want, right? So that's why I'm going to say the word should be. If you think another person should be loyal to you, but you are not loyal to you, that is totally unfair and it doesn't make sense. And a person, if you are not loyal to yourself, a person also will not want to be loyal to you, right? It's just like a person that doesn't value or love themselves. If you are like say you want to be loved and adored, well, to manifest a person loving and adore you, I'm not saying you should be going out there and loving and adoring people, although yes, do that, right? If you want to call it and do that, but it's got to be genuine. You can't do that and be fake about it because, oh, I'm just being, I'm just being this way because this is what I'm trying to call in, but it's not genuine. You don't really even want to be loving to this person, let's say, or adoring this person. It's like it's fake. You're just doing it because you're trying to get something. That's not real. So you will call in the same thing because energetically, what comes into your life is a match to you. And everything coming into your life, you can take it in, and you don't need to judge or criticize yourself or pat yourself on the back. I mean, you can, but it should be looked at as a reflection of where you are energetically, right? So if you don't love yourself, others won't actually love you, right? If I don't love and respect myself, someone won't love and respect me. It's not the same level. It's a different level. And you can still call in people. So like, let's say you don't love yourself. I'm not saying you couldn't call someone in that wouldn't love you. They will love you, but it will be at a price. It will not be unconditional love. It'll be conditioned love. And I'm telling you, it's not the love you're going to want, which is why you have to be it first. If you be it first, if you write down this person, okay? And I know it's going to be, I know you're not going to say, oh, I want a liar. Like, you're not going to say that. You're going to say all the things that I would say, right? We want a loyal person. We want a strong person, a person with good communication, a person with a good heart, a person who loves me, a person who would take care of me if I needed it. These are the things you're going to say. So you have to look at yourself and decide and recognize, am I being these things? Yes or no? And if not, I'm going to start being them because this is what I'm calling in now. And let's just say, for example, maybe you think you love yourself and maybe you don't really know what it is to love yourself. Okay, that's fine. But we can try, right? If you've realized people that are coming in your life are not loving you, I would be, with love towards yourself, taking a look at, hey, am I loving myself? Am I loyal to myself? Do I keep my word to myself? Because I can almost guarantee you're not, if these people aren't in your life. And you might think you are. Sometimes this stuff can be very sneaky. Like I said, you can think there's an idea of love, but it's not really love. to me, love doesn't come with attachments and a contract and conditions. That, to me, that is not love. If you listening to this think, no, that is love, then disregard what I say, because again, it's your world, you get to decide. But the love I know that's real love is not conditioned love. It's just love. It's love no matter what. If you don't have that for yourself, so I love myself even if I've done something wrong, and I'll forgive myself and say, you know, I tried, or I didn't know better, or I'm going to do better next time. I don't hold it against myself. I love myself and I move on. And, you know, you might think love is, so let's say you don't really know what truly loving yourself is, and you're loving yourself with conditions. That would look like you love yourself when you're doing well, when you're making money, when maybe a person shows that they like you or tells you you're pretty. That's conditioned love, where there's things that you have to do in order to receive that love, right? And you might be confusing that for love and thinking you're loving yourself, but that's not really loving yourself. And these are the little things that are causing who you're manifesting in your life to show up this way. Because as I've said in previous videos, your relationships are a reflection of you, and they're a reflection of the relationship you have with yourself. So, you know, I've really, I just turned 40, and I've had lots of time at this point to really undo some of my programming and conditioning that I had. We all receive it. And, you know, all these things I'm telling you, I've done it. I've realized that I was only loving myself when I did something good, or if I earned something, or, you know, if somebody complimented me or said a good thing about me, then I really loved myself. But, you know, say I wasn't having a good day, or, you know, I ate too much, or I disappointed so-and-so, I was not loving myself the same way. And remember what I said, love doesn't have conditions. So if you really loved yourself, you would love yourself through all of it, right? Even on a day that you were bad, you love yourself through that. And I've been, I don't know for how long, I can't say, and it doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter how long it takes, you know? I've been loving myself, really loving myself without conditions through it all. If I'm the weight I don't want to be, if I don't like the way I look, if I feel like I'm having a bad hair day, if I feel like I disappointed this person, that I upset this person, I love myself. I truly love myself no matter what. And, you know, I just turned 40, and I received so much love from my family and friends. Like, my heart is so full. I'm beaming off of this energy still. And, you know, as I was soaking it all in, I was just like, girl, like, this is a reflection of the love you've been pouring into yourself. Like, others are reflecting to you how you feel about you. Like, how beautiful. Like, I have the best relationships. I really do. I love all my relationships. But you know what? I really love myself. And when you really love yourself, you can only call in people, like, that's the only people that'll be around. You know, there are some people that might not really love me. I think they love me with conditions. They weren't at my birthday. It's crazy. They weren't there. They weren't there. I'm not calling those people in. I asked them to come still, but I'm not calling them in, so they were not there. So, you know, the beautiful art of manifestation is realizing through what you like and what you don't like, making it into what you like, what you desire, realizing through the ups and downs, the pains, the blessings, what you do like, what you want to call in, and you then be it. And once you be it, you embody a type of energy or vibration, or I'm not sure what word is going to resonate with all of you, but to me it's energetics. When you embody a certain vibe, a certain energy, it's the only energy or vibe that can show up. Other stuff, like, think about somebody who is a celebrity. They're on a certain level. Money status, maybe their career status, like Emmy, I don't know what they're called, their their awards they get. That person, whether it be friends or lovers, they wouldn't call in a bum off the street. And it doesn't mean, sorry, I love the bums on the street. No shade to you guys. But those guys on the streets, they would still love the celebrity, of course. And maybe they would even say, I want to be your friend. And they're going to come up, or I want to be in a relationship with you. But the person on this other level, it would never happen. It's like, no thank you. No, thank you. We're not on the same level. But if that person on the street realized, man, that's what I want. I want a woman like that, or I want a guy like that. I love everything about them. If that person got their life together and rose themselves to the status of celebrity, so say they really developed their career, they really developed their money, they really developed their influence, all these things, that celebrity would notice that person because they're on the same level now. So that's what I'm trying to say when I say that level or that energy or vibration. So you decide who you want to call in, you be it, and the magic happens. And it's crazy because this is like, you could say this as a process, as steps, and it seems simple, like I just said. Decide or figure out, or with intention, what I want. You're going to express your desire. You're going to put it on paper. That way you've interacted with it. And you're going to be it. All that, what you write, you have to start being it. If you want somebody loyal, you start being loyal. And deeper than you've already been. I don't want you to say, well, I'm already loyal, and think you don't have to do anything here. The action steps you're taking is being what you wrote down. Be that, and there's nothing else that could come into your life but that which you wrote down. That is how it works. And if you're skeptical and think, I don't know, what do you have to lose if you try to spend 5 to 10 minutes writing this down and to raise up to what you wrote down? What do you have to lose? I say just try it. So with that being said, I hope you really got something from this here, because this is literally what I do to call in friendships, relationships. I write about it. I write about the person before I meet them. I do this with many things. It doesn't have to just be with relationships. It could be about an event. It could be about a job, maybe the way you'd like a job opportunity or interview to go, or position, or you write about it and you live life from that place that you wrote about. It's just a fun game. Life is a fun game. Why not, right? It's a fun game. Why not play it, test it out? The worst that's going to happen is that nothing changes. But I almost feel like I can promise you, if you do this, if you write it out, it can happen for you. Okay? So with that being said, thank you so much for being here. And please let me know what comes to be with what you write down, okay? Bye guys. Love you so much.